Let me see if I can finish this goddamn review. Alright, here we go. Next one. Brainjacked. This is, Unearthed released this. This is a cool flick. It's real weird, man. What it's about this kid named, what is it? Tristan? Yeah, some dude named Tristan. But anyway, he's living in his house with his mom, and he's got like this evil stepdad, you know? And his stepdad has all these dudes over to come screw his mom, like right in front of him and all this. And the dude's played by, the asshole stepfather is played by Stephen Biro, you know, the dude in charge of Unearthed Films. Really nice guy, but yeah, he's an asshole in this movie. It's great. He played a good little part. Marcus Cook did the effects, you know, 100 Tears and all that. He did the effects in this. So, you know, there's some good looking shit in here. It's not overly gory or nothing like that. But anyway, back to the story. So anyway, the kid decides to run away from home, and meets up with this chick, and this chick's like, hey, look, you know, I got this little underground club, go to, help you out, you know, he don't have no place to stay, so she's like, well, you can come up here, and we'll take care of you, and this and that. Anyway, the underground club, what they're doing is this thing called, what the hell is it, trepanation? I guess it was an actual practice they used to use to, for like, they would drill a hole in a certain lobe of people's brains to like release tension, mental disorders, mental relief, and all that kind of shit. But anyway, so they would drill holes in their head to relieve tension. But when the doctor's doing this, he's inserting chips into their brains, so where, you know, he's got this little remote, and whenever he gives an order, you know, they like become hypnotized, and they have to go out and like do whatever he says, you know, go rob some shit or go kill somebody. And then after they're done, they just kind of wake up, and they're disoriented. They don't know what they did, so they don't know what's going on. But yeah, anyway, it's a weird flick, man. It's got really cool colors and shit in it, like Suspiria, you know, how it has all them greens and reds and all that shit. And like Hobo with a Shotgun did it, you know, they tried to do the colors and all that stuff, which is a great film. That's another one I got to pick up that I have, but I'm not reviewing it right now. But anyway, because it's been reviewed too much. But anyway, yeah, Brainjack. Definitely a cool one to pick up. Not too shabby. Then I got They Must Eat. I heard Mr. Parker talking about this one, so I decided to pick this one up. This is a low-budget movie. I mean, for being a low-budget movie, the ghouls in this look pretty damn cool. They did good on the makeup and shit, and there's some gore in it. I mean, it's not like the most goriest thing I've ever seen or anything, but there's a little bit of gore in it. And basically what this one's about is there's like this loser kid. Well, he's probably in his 20s. And his girlfriend of like 3 years breaks up with him, calling him pathetic and all this other crap, and he's calling her, I'm sorry, please take me back, and all this shit. So he decides that he's going to go live with his uncle, his crazy uncle. Well, little does he know that his uncle is like taking care of these ghouls down in his basement, and so he has to like bring people down there and feed the ghouls humans. So he chops them up for the ghouls and prepares them and feeds the ghouls and all this shit. Anyway, the uncle has a heart attack and dies. So now, you know, the weird kid has to take care of the ghouls. Really, it's a good movie. It's different. Not the best acting I've ever seen or anything. It's pretty, you know, but it is a fun flick. Not too bad. I liked it. Shit. Oh my god. Then I got Don't Look in the Basement. I had this shit on a like one of those compilation, you know, one of those value pack things. But I finally wanted to get the real releases because I really like this movie. It's an old 70s flick. You know, if you like older exploitation type movies, I mean, this one doesn't go too far, you know, exploiting too much. But it's in a mental institution. There's a lot of crazy characters in it. Basically, it's about this nurse, you know, she goes over there, like, she was gonna get interviewed for a job, so she goes over to the place. Before she gets there, the doctor gets killed by one of the patients. So anyway, the next person in charge, you know, tells her she can work there and shit. But anyway, I won't give too much away. If I talk about it too much, it's gonna give it away. But anyway, it's a real fun one. I enjoyed this. It's, you know, pretty it's pretty stiff acting and shit like that, but It's just a fun flick, man. It's got all them weird angles. You know, like a grindhouse flick, man. It's good stuff. Then, I finally got this son of a bitch in. I've been wanting to see this movie forever. Nightmare in a Damaged Brain, whatever you want to call it. Finally came out uncut. I paid like $21 for this son of a bitch. It was worth it though, man. This shit was good. Basically, it's about this crazy dude that gets out of his mental institution. They were using some kind of experimental drugs on him, you know, to try to cure his wackiness. And yeah, he gets away, and when he was a young kid, he actually seen his dad screwing this prostitute. So he decided to get an axe and chop the prostitute's head off, and then kill it, you know, cleave his dad right in the head with the axe too. So yeah, he got put in a mental institution, got out of the mental institution, and then goes on a killing spree and goes and stalks his family. There's some nice gore in here. I mean, it's a pretty, you know, I'm glad it's finally out. I recommend everybody go pick this up. If you're a fan of horror, shit like that, pick this son of a bitch up. Good stuff. Then I got some exploitation shit. I got The Exterminator. This is a good one. This is basically these two buddies in Vietnam, you know. They go through Vietnam, they save each other's lives and shit like that, so they're real tight. And then it goes to present day, and you know, they're living in New York City. This group of thugs called the Ghetto Ghouls, they end up beating the crap out of this dude's, you know, buddy, Vietnam buddy. Winds up, you know, the dude ends up in the hospital, all crippled up and shit. Not gonna give too much away about that. But his buddy goes on a killing rampage, like it just drives him nuts. He like goes back to Vietnam in his head, you know, so he just goes and like gets all the perverts, all the, you know, drug dealers and criminals and shit, and just kills them in different ways. It's not like overly gory or nothing. There is a really nice shit. There's a really nice decapitation at the beginning of the movie where it's, you know, just about 5 minutes of the movie are like set in Vietnam, where it shows some Vietnam shit going on. But there's a nice decapitation in it. It's great. I thought it looked really cool. But anyway, yeah, this is definitely worth picking up. Good one. Then I got this one. This is called Vice Squad. And this son of a bitch is good. And Ramrod will stick it right up your ass. But yeah, if you got... This shit was a cool-ass movie, man. I really enjoyed this flick. This one's about this prostitute with a heart of gold. And, she's, you know, she's got a kid, and she's so sweet, but then she goes and whores it out, you know, at night. But yeah, anyway, so she's doing her thing. One of her prostitute pals ends up getting killed by this pimp named Ramrod. He's like a cowboy pimp. He's like dressed like a cowboy, but he's this tough-ass pimp, you know, nuts. He ends up killing one of her friends. She ends up getting busted by the cops. So the cops tell her she's got to work with them to find Ramrod. And, yeah, the chase ensues. So it's like cat and mouse. Ramrod is pissed off at this prostitute. He finds out that she's after him. And this is just a fun flick, man. It's just, from beginning to end, it just keeps on going. It's got that great, like, city, you know, neon lights everywhere, scummy city. If you like shit like that, really gritty city movies, this is a really good one to get. Then I got another crazy one here. It's called The Killing Time. This one's pretty good. This one, it's just basically like a Psycho type movie. I'm not saying like it's like Psycho, but it's like a, you know, insane dude. But anyway, yeah, this one basically, it starts out, I mean, right from the get-go, it shows like this group of dudes all together. They're chasing this chick down on the beach. They get her down. They start raping her and stuff like that. And then the main guy, what the hell is his name? Terry. They get him. He's just kind of watching. He's just like, you know, and they're raping her and doing all this shit. And they're like, it's your turn now. So they get him and they like start pulling his pants down and pushing him on top of her and stuff like that. So anyway, he ends up getting the rap for the rape. He stays in jail for a few years, and jail screws with his head. He gets out of jail. His mom's running like this boarding house. And so he goes and stays with his mother, which his mother's really weird, and like they have this weird shit going on. I mean, it doesn't show him having sex or nothing like that, but you can tell there's a weird kind of sexual tension between him and his mom, and that's nice. But yeah, so anyway, you know, after he gets out of prison, he's kind of whacked out by this point. He has visions of that rape, and he just thinks about like violent sex with women and like, you know, torturing women, and he ends up, you know, killing a few people. Not a bad flick, man. I liked it. It was pretty cool. And then lastly, what I'm going to talk about is Bad Lieutenant. I finally, yeah, everybody else has seen this, I know. This is a really cool 90s film, though, man. For being out in, like, what is it, 92, I think? This was pushing some limits, you know. I mean, it's got Harvey Keitel. He plays an awesome scumbag. I mean, he's just like well, what it says right in front, gambler, thief, killer, cop. But yeah, he's a junkie. He's always snorting coke and shit, and he's you know, just getting prostitutes and being a pervert. And anyway, this nun gets raped by these dudes, so he has to investigate. He's investigating all this stuff, and he's trying to look for this guy. But the story goes off, and it's really weird. It's basically, I'm not gonna say it's like Taxi Driver, but it's got that feel where it's like you feel like there's not much plot to it. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's got the, you know, the New York, the city atmosphere. It's got the really shitty apartments and stuff like that. It's got, you know, just scumbag central. It was just a cool flick. The ending was great. I really liked the ending. It's on a downer. So yeah, Bad Lieutenant, it's a good one. That's it. And that's all I'm going to talk about right now. So yeah, maybe I'll do the Mayhem update one day. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing good, and I'm out. Bye!